Hello and welcome to State of the Table. My name is Ryan, also known as Rezial, and this is my video series taking a look at the hobby table, seeing what may have changed, if anything, if I have any tips or tricks or things that I'm sort of interested in at the moment that I'd like to talk to you all about related to hobby or gaming or anything about that. That's just striking my fancy here, a very loose, informal video. If you are someone that's new, or if you're anyone getting any value out of my content, please do consider hitting that like button, sharing with friends, subscribing if you would like to see more content, and hitting that notification bell to be updated with any new videos coming out in the future, which I plan to do, of course. And also check out the other social media over at Instagram. Like to get up, look around on the Instagrams and post some stuff when possible, so check it out there and see if anything new's popping up there as well. I do like to try to keep the video as close to 5 minutes as possible. That's the running joke, because I don't usually get to to do it that quickly, because I do like to talk, but I'm gonna try to keep it short today. And so without further ado, let's check it out. So just zooming in on actually my cutting board today. Down here on the front side of the desk, and I don't have anything related to paint as far as the army project that I have been working on with Dark Angels lately to show you guys. Not for anyone who's not aware, when I very first started 40K, Dark Angels was my very first army. I have always had them, but I have not always been able to play them because over the editions and many years, because I started with them, I wanted to really do them justice. So as I got better at hobby, I decided to take them apart, strip them, and do more work, and try to make them, or actually wait till I was better, where I could use a higher level of skill to make them look nicer. So my Dark Angels were actually really torn apart, even though I own quite a lot. So I'm pretty much rebuilding this army, not 100% from scratch, but quite a bit. So I've basically gone through with these older kits, and I had some that had not been used, and I had some that I was using for parts and refurbishing and putting back together, so that's what I'm working on, and get them cleaned up. And I've got them pretty much ready, most of these, to go to paint. And so that's where I'm sitting with these bikes that are attack bikes, with them and with the sidecars. Some of these have options where I have the rider and the head and stuff like that separate, where I'm sort of mixing and matching and finding the ones that I want to do, and then having them in a sub-assembly for paint, because I do like sub-assemblies. For those of you that like sub-assemblies, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're not aware of sub-assembly, it's where you just have it in separate parts so that you can paint things more easily and not have to dig into gaps and stuff like that. So there's that. And then stuff like my speeders. So I have called a Ravenwing Talonmaster, and this is one that I had started painting a while back, but I went back and I have been doing more work on to at least get like the characters and stuff built in, which I have done. Went ahead and got the Talonmaster himself, that's the driver, in there, and I actually magnetized him a head so that you could swap it if he wants to use a head that has like a relic option or something like that, which may or may not stick around, but we'll see. And then I also wanted to do a second one, and I've actually gone through and magnetized that in two spots, so that for these parts, and then also in a couple spots on the rider for that, so that I can swap in different gunners. So if I want to swap in the Talonmaster gunner right there, he can be riding. If I want to swap on the Talonmaster twin assault cannon, or swap it out for a single or a flamer, or just take it off entirely, I can do that. Then also the Talonmaster himself, he's another model where I've changed the head so that it can be magnetized, and also have the arm so that I can pop that off and he can just be a regular driver for another type of speeders. So this one is modular so that it can be a Talonmaster or a different type of speeders. That's something I'm working on with that. And that's just getting comfortable with magnets, and I super recommend magnets. for anybody that's interested in that sort of thing. Just love it. For 40K, it's great. I would start learning how to use magnets as soon as you can. And if that's something anybody wants me to talk about, please put it in the comments below. Love to hear from you guys in the comments. Here I've got a Terminator, because I'm going to be moving on to my Terminator soon. And then this is an old one that I had worked on where I had actually added him a epoxy, like green stuff hood. And I was looking at him and being like, okay, how can I kind of update this guy and make him a little nicer? So I was fixing some things, working on some things, fixing like gaps in the base from the old base, stuff like that. So stuff like that. And that is pretty much it for what's been on the table. I took a little time off to use my Vallejo metal color paints. These are paints that I super highly recommend for anybody that's doing metallic works. They don't necessarily have a great gold. They only have one gold in the line, and it's a super duper pale gold, which is useful if you need that, but most people are not using the pale golds. The silver metallics, the iron, the steel, the aluminums, the silvers, like all that stuff, those are, there's a lot of different ranges of colors of that, and some have a little bit of hue to them and stuff like this, but these are great. They go through airbrush amazingly well, and even without thinning in some cases, and they brush on super nicely. They are very thin in consistency, although they have great pigment coverage, so highly recommend those. I was getting some of my ultramarine tanks up because I went out to play at a local monthly event today with the Friendly Local Gaming Syndicate. Shout out to Seth and everybody there. I had a lot of fun. I actually ended up just playing my normal gaming, one of my normal gaming buddies, because we arrived and no one was free that I would play differently. But he and I got in a game, and I thought that was fun. And with the Ultramarine, I was trying to get a little bit of work done on the some of my old models that I had refurbished a little bit, and that was cool. So I got those done with the metal color. And yeah, I mean, other than that, the big news lately has been all the Games Workshop reveals and you know, releases related to the new edition coming up this summer, and Lionel Johnson model, which is a dream come true for me. There are some things, I love the model for the most part, but there is at least one thing. I am not a fan of him being an old man, as they have made him, so that's a thing I'm going to look at changing, that hopefully one day when I get that model, I will have some videos for everybody about when I do it, because fixing the models the way that you want them to be is absolutely a thing that I am all about. So that is really it for this week. I don't have any crazy hobby progress besides just sort of like the inching along with these Dark Angels going on that I've been talking about, and I am waiting on this upcoming balance update that should be out in, say, like maybe a week. Hopefully it's pretty quick, because that's going to tell me what's going on, what's going forward, and maybe I even get to take Lionel Johnson himself with that army, so if he's legal to play and I have time to paint him properly, so we shall see. So, but without further ado, always a pleasure to get to speak to you all, and I hope everybody has had a great week, and that is it. Bye for now.